Cue the Honourable Member Calgary Fish Creek, followed by Sherwood Park.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's sad that this government continues to insist the case of an Airdrie rape victim's day in court being dropped as just a one-time incident. The cracks in our justice system have been clear since 2007, when I chaired the Safe Communities Task Force, when the report clearly said, and I'll quote, "The current criminal justice system is not working. The system is fractured. And we will need to increase the number of Crown prosecutors in the province to handle increased volumes of cases in the province." Could the Justice Minister then admit that the justice system in this province remains fractured? How many Crown prosecutors?
Honourable Minister.
Yes, I'm very happy to answer that question, but first I must correct an inaccuracy. At no time did I use the words isolated incident. Secondly, we've added 69 new prosecutors since 2006, and Mr. Speaker, this year I've added two new provincial court judges. Next year I'll appoint 2 more, and on top of that, as we've discussed over the past few days, Mr. Speaker, we've also advocated the federal government putting 4 more Court of Queen's Bench justices. If there's one thing that this member could do is join me in advocating for that from the federal government, because it's federal responsibility. It's the least you could do.
Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll be happy to join him in getting more judges in this province. Given that the federal minister has said, now I want you to listen, has said that the Mandatory Reporting of Child Pornography Act is stronger than the federal legislation, and in fact, in concert with the federal bill, can the Justice Minister please explain why it continues to hide behind excuses instead of proclaiming our bill and protect our children?
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. Again, the same question several days ago, the same answer is going to happen today. Just last week, I brought this very issue up to Minister Rob Nicholson, the Federal Minister of Justice, and he indicated to me quite correctly, if we go and proclaim this bill, it supersedes the federal bill. And there are different reporting issues here in this particular bill, Mr. Speaker. We're on this topic. We have the same end goal in mind as this particular member, but at the same time, it really puzzles me as to why she doesn't understand the division of powers in the Constitution.
Honourable Member.
And the divisions, because I did it with the PCHIP legislation along with the criminal code. Given that the Justice Minister voted against the Justice Monitoring Act that followed it's on record, that followed recommendations from the 5-year-old Safe Community Task Force report to require annual reporting on our justice system, and given that this government has failed to implement the Mandatory Reporting of Child Pornography Act, how can this minister keep making excuses for his lack of action on keeping it safe?
Mr. Speaker, it is beyond me how this member keeps making excuses for her own bill versus the federal bill when I've clearly outlined what the issues are. If she'd like a meeting, all she has to do is call my office.